The 9, Brian, good morning to you this morning.
Good morning, Andre, and to all veterans who are watching this morning, thank you for your service.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to it here. The federal workers, they can get back to work knowing that they will be getting a paycheck now and ensure retroactive pay. That is certainly some good news to the furlough workers, but there are some more steps here to this process. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, first of all, you have members of the House of Representatives racing back to Washington, D.C. For a vote as early as tomorrow on the opening up of the government, and that's very important. Every day that goes by is one more day of pain for people who are not receiving certain benefits from the government. So tomorrow is an important day. There may be a committee meeting later on tonight, but the House will come together tomorrow and hopefully vote to reopen the government.
All right. So in the House of Representatives, there is a small Republican margin of control here. Can you describe what hurdle that does face when this goes before the House of Representatives?
Well, depending, Andre, it's a good question. Depending on where Democrats come down on this in the House as a group, as a Democrat caucus, they could cause problems. But there is the Republican majority. It's slight. But I do think you're going to see some Democrats come over and vote for the continuing resolution because of the pain that is very obvious throughout our system, including most glaringly with air traffic control.
So the issue of the health care subsidies, that is tabled right now with a promise to come back. Do you see a lot of likelihood that that will make its way back for a vote at some point later on?
Speaker Johnson hasn't indicated that he's going to put that up for a vote. The Senate, John Thune, the majority leader, has said he will bring that back for a vote, but we'll have to see what happens in the House. So more to come on all this. But I think the net of this, really, Andre, is a lot of people around the country wondering why we had to go through 42 days of a government shutdown to end up basically where we started.
Right.
And something that could have been dealt with a continuing resolution, as it has been many, many times before.
You know, there's debate over the momentum that Democrats had on this and the thought that they were winning this. But, you know, getting back to the continuing resolution anyway, there were some side notes tucked into this. One was a provision that would provide a wide legal avenue for Republican senators whose phone records were seized as part of the Jack Smith investigation into the riot on the Capitol in 2021 to sue the government for at least $500,000. So anyone whose phone records, any Republican senators whose phone records were seized in this, now will have a right to sue the government for at least $500,000 each. That is something that's tucked that not a lot of people here are talking about, but why would this be something that would be tucked into this?
It's historical. It's historical that in all of these solutions that are found in Washington, D.C., that little things are put into these bills, and you're going to see that in this continuing resolution. But again, the overarching concern, I think, for Democrats is the subsidies for health care and some of these larger issues. And we will see how this is resolved, but I can say that when we analyze what happened, the 42 days of the shutdown, nothing material has been delivered to a lot of these Democrat senators in particular who held out for so long, and those in the House of Representatives. They basically did not achieve much at all.
Well, when this comes around again in January, will they have a leg to stand on when this all happens again, because they've given up so much in this resolution, this continuing resolution?
Another great question. Yes, when you kick the can down the road, eventually the can stops rolling and you've got to deal with it again. And this is going to reoccur in January. But this breathing room, Andre, hopefully will allow both sides to come together and work out a lot of these details so that when the continuing resolution ends in January, that they have worked out the details, which, by the way, is the whole point of these continuing resolutions. Essentially, this was what was known as a clean resolution. It hadn't changed much since the first time the Democrat senators said they wouldn't go along with it. So that, there's a lot of course, finger pointing in Washington, D.C., especially against the majority or minority leader Chuck Schumer, and so we'll see what happens in January. To your point.
All right, political analyst Brian Sobel, thank you for joining us this morning. Appreciate your time.
You're very welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Bye bye. Coming up on Mornings on 2 to 9, it's not just about your life.